The night was quiet as the disciples sat around a small fire beside Sea of Galilee. The sound of waves moved gently against the shore, while the stars filled the dark sky above them. The disciples looked tired. After following Jesus Christ through crowds, storms, and long journeys, questions still filled their hearts. Peter stared into the fire and finally spoke. "Lord, how do we become stronger?" The other disciples became silent. They wanted the same answer. Jesus looked at them with calm eyes and said, "A strong spirit is not built during easy days. It is built when you continue walking through difficult ones." The disciples listened carefully. Jesus picked up a small stone from the ground. "Look at this stone," he said. "Before it became smooth, it was shaped by pressure, wind, and water. In the same way, God uses struggles to shape your heart." Thomas asked, "But Lord, what if we feel weak?" Jesus smiled gently. "Even the strongest tree was once a small seed. Do not hate small beginnings. Faith grows slowly, but it becomes powerful." The fire crackled softly as the disciples sat closer to hear every word. Then Jesus stood up and pointed toward the dark hills around them. "When night comes," he said, "people become afraid because they cannot see clearly. Fear comes when you focus more on darkness than on God." The disciples watched him carefully. "Listen to me," Jesus continued. "The world will always give you reasons to quit. People will doubt you. Some will laugh at your faith. Others will leave you when life becomes difficult. But if your heart stays close to God, you will never walk alone." John lowered his head, thinking about his own fears of the future. Jesus noticed and said, "Do not spend your life trying to be greater than others. The greatest person is the one who serves with love." A deep silence filled the air. Then Matthew asked, "Lord, how do we stop worrying about tomorrow?" Jesus looked at the stars above them. "Do you see the birds sleeping tonight?" he asked. "They do not fear tomorrow, yet God watches over them. If God cares for even the smallest bird, how much more will he care for you?" The disciples felt peace enter their hearts. Jesus sat beside the fire once more and spoke slowly. "Many people chase riches, power, and attention, but those things do not last forever. A peaceful heart is worth more than gold." Peter looked at Jesus and asked, "What should we do when we fail?" Jesus answered immediately, "Stand again." The disciples stayed silent. "Every person falls," Jesus said, "but failure only destroys those who refuse to rise again. God is not looking for perfect people. He is looking for faithful hearts." The wind became stronger as the fire moved in the darkness. Then Jesus spoke words the disciples would remember forever. "Discipline begins inside the mind. If you cannot control your thoughts, fear will control your life. Protect your heart. Protect your mind. Fill your spirit with truth instead of anger, jealousy, and pride." The disciples listened carefully as every word entered deeply into their hearts. Jesus continued, "Wake up each day with purpose. Pray even when you feel weak. Help others even when you are tired. Stay humble when life becomes successful. And trust God even when life makes no sense." Thomas looked at Jesus and asked quietly, "Lord, what if the road becomes too hard?" Jesus placed his hand on Thomas's shoulder and said, "The strongest warriors are not those who never struggle. They are those who continue moving forward even while carrying pain." Tears filled some of the disciples' eyes as they listened. Then Jesus stood and looked toward the sunrise beginning to appear in the distance. The darkness slowly disappeared as golden light covered the hills. "That," Jesus said, pointing toward the sunrise, "is how God works in your life. Darkness never lasts forever. Morning always comes." The disciples watched silently as hope replaced fear inside them. And before they left that place, Jesus gave them one final lesson. "Discipline is not only about strength," he said. "It is about obedience, patience, kindness,
and faithfulness during difficult times. A disciplined heart stays faithful even when nobody is watching. The disciples never forgot that night. Years later, through persecution, suffering, and hardship, they remembered the words of Jesus beside the fire. Those lessons gave them strength when the world tried to break them. And today, those same words still matter. Because discipline is not just about routines or hard work. True discipline begins when you choose faith over fear, peace over anger, and purpose over distraction. So stay strong, stay faithful. Keep walking with God even during difficult seasons, because the same Jesus who strengthened his disciples can strengthen you too.